My family cut me off when I married someone from a different culture. Chapter 1. A Love Blossom. My name is Alicia Patel, and I grew up in a traditional Indian family. My parents emigrated from Gujarat to the United States before I was born, bringing with them their rich cultural heritage and traditions. I was raised with a deep appreciation for my roots, yet I always felt a strong connection to the broader, diverse world around me. I met Daniel in college during our sophomore year. He was an exchange student from Italy, studying engineering. Daniel was charismatic, kind, and incredibly intelligent. Our paths crossed in a philosophy class, where our debates turned into conversations that lasted hours. Over time, those conversations turned into friendship and eventually into love. Our relationship blossomed despite our cultural differences. Daniel was fascinated by my Indian traditions, and I was equally intrigued by his Italian heritage. We spent countless evenings discussing our families, our dreams, and the future we wanted to build together. Chapter 2. Cultural Divide. As our relationship grew serious, the inevitable challenge of introducing Daniel to my family loomed over us. My parents had always envisioned me marrying someone from our community. They had raised me with stories of arranged marriages and the importance of maintaining our cultural identity. When I first mentioned Daniel to my parents, their reaction was not what I had hoped for. They were polite but distant, asking questions about his background and his family. My mother, in particular, seemed worried. She reminded me of our values and traditions, subtly hinting that a relationship with someone from a different culture might be difficult. Despite their reservations, I remained hopeful. I believed that with time, my parents would see the love and happiness Daniel brought into my life. We decided to invite Daniel over for dinner, hoping that a face-to-face meeting would help bridge the gap. Chapter 3. The Dinner. The night of the dinner, my nerves were on edge. Daniel arrived with flowers for my mother and a bottle of wine for my father, a gesture that was both thoughtful and respectful. My parents greeted him warmly but remained somewhat reserved. The evening started well enough, with light conversation and polite exchanges. However, as the night progressed, it became clear that my parents were struggling to connect with Daniel. My father asked pointed questions about Daniel's plans and his family's expectations, while my mother focused on the cultural differences and potential challenges. Daniel, to his credit, remained composed and respectful throughout. He spoke about his love for me and his willingness to learn and embrace my culture. But my parents' skepticism was evident. They were polite but unconvinced. After Daniel left, my parents sat me down for a serious talk. They expressed their concerns, emphasizing the potential difficulties of a cross-cultural marriage. They spoke about the importance of community, tradition, and the expectations of our extended family. I listened, but my heart was set. I loved Daniel, and I believed we could overcome any challenges together. Chapter 4. The Ultimatum. As my relationship with Daniel grew stronger, the tension with my family intensified. My parents made it clear that they did not approve of our relationship. They suggested that I end things with Daniel and focus on finding someone from our community. The pressure was immense, felt torn between my love for Daniel and my loyalty to my family. I spent sleepless nights agonizing over the decision, seeking advice from friends and even consulting a therapist. In the end, my love for Daniel won out. When I told my parents that I had decided to marry Daniel, their reaction was devastating. My father was furious, teasing me of betraying our family and our values. My mother was heartbroken, tears streaming down her face as she pleaded with me to reconsider. They gave me an ultimatum: end my relationship with Daniel or be cut off from the family. Chapter 5. The Wedding. Choosing love over family was the hardest decision I had ever made. My parents' disapproval weighed heavily on me, but I couldn't imagine a life without Daniel. We decided to move forward with our wedding plans, hoping that my parents would eventually come around. We had a beautiful wedding that blended our cultures. We incorporated elements of both Indian and Italian traditions, creating a unique and meaningful celebration of our love. Daniel's family was incredibly supportive, welcoming me with open arms and embracing our multicultural union. But my parents did not attend the wedding. Their absence was a painful reminder of the rift that had formed between us. As I walked down the aisle, I couldn't help but feel a pang of sorrow for the family I had lost. Yet, standing next to Daniel, I knew I had made the right choice. Chapter 6. The New Life. Married life with Daniel was a journey of learning and growth. We navigated the complexities of blending our cultures, from cooking diverse meals to celebrating different holidays. We faced challenges, but our love and commitment to each other remained unwavering. Living without my family's support was difficult. I missed the warmth of my parents' home, the comfort of family gatherings, and the shared traditions. But Daniel and I built a new life together, filled with love, understanding, and mutual respect. We found joy in our differences, embracing the richness of our combined heritage. We traveled to India and Italy, immersing ourselves in each other's cultures and deepening our bond. We made new friends who became like family, creating a supportive community around us. Chapter 7. The First Visit. Years passed, and the pain of estrangement from my family began to dull. Though it never fully disappeared, I still hoped that that one day they would accept Daniel and welcome us back into their lives. The turning point came with the birth of our daughter Sophia. The arrival of a grandchild can often soften the hardest of hearts. I decided to reach out to my parents, sending them a heartfelt letter and photos of Sophia. I expressed my love for them and my hope that they could find it in their hearts to be a part of our lives again. To my surprise and relief, my mother responded. She was cautious but curious, asking to meet Sophia. We arranged a visit, and I was filled with a mix of hope and anxiety. Daniel was supportive, understanding the importance of this reunion for me. When we arrived at my parents' home, my mother greeted us with tears in her eyes. She held Sophia close, marveling at her tiny features. My father was more reserved, but there was a softness in his gaze that I hadn't seen in years. Chapter 8. Rebuilding Bridges. First visit was tentative but promising. My parents were cautious, still wary of Daniel. Their love for Sophia was undeniable. We continued to visit, slowly rebuilding our relationship one step at a time. Over time, my parents began to see the love and happiness Daniel brought into my life. They witnessed the strong bond we shared and the loving family we had created. While it wasn't easy, they started to accept Daniel and appreciate the efforts we made to honor both our cultures. Our relationship with my parents remained a work in progress, marked by moments of tension and misunderstanding. But there were also moments of connection and joy, as we found common ground and celebrated our shared love for Sophia. Chapter 9. Acceptance and Forgiveness. Years of estrangement had left scars, but forgiveness and understanding began to heal them. My parents slowly embraced Daniel, recognizing the depth of his love and commitment to me. They saw how happy we were together and how well we navigated the complexities of our multicultural marriage. Daniel's respect for my parents and his efforts to learn about our culture played a significant role in bridging the gap. He participated in our family traditions, celebrated our festivals, and showed a genuine interest in our heritage. My parents, in turn, began to appreciate his kindness and dedication. The journey was far from easy, but we reached a place of mutual respect and acceptance. My parents welcomed us back into the family, and we celebrated this newfound unity with a traditional Indian feast and an Italian dinner, symbolizing the blending of our cultures. Chapter 10. The New Normal. As the years passed, our family continued to grow and evolve. Sophia was joined by a little brother, Arjun, who brought even more joy and chaos into our lives. Our home was a vibrant mix of languages, traditions, and love. We continued to celebrate both our cultures, creating new traditions that honored our diverse heritage. Our children grew up with a deep appreciation for their Indian and Italian roots, learning to navigate the complexities of their multicultural identity, grace, and pride. Our relationship with my parents strengthened, built on a foundation of forgiveness, understanding, and love. They became doting grandparents, showering Sophia and Arjun with affection and passing down the traditions of our ancestors. Chapter 11. Reflections. Looking back on our journey, I am filled with a deep sense of gratitude. Marrying someone from a different culture was a challenge, but it was also a beautiful, enriching experience that broadened my horizons and deepened my understanding of love and family. Our story is one of resilience, determination, and the power of love to overcome even the deepest divides. It taught me the importance of staying true to myself while honoring my heritage and the value of forgiveness and acceptance. I am proud of the family we have built, a testament to the strength of our love and the beauty of our combined cultures. Our journey was not easy, but it was worth every struggle and sacrifice. Chapter 12. Moving forward. Today, we continue to navigate the complexities of our multicultural family, learning and growing together. Our home is filled with laughter, love, and the rich tapestry of our combined heritage. We honor our past while embracing the future, teaching our children the importance of acceptance, respect, and love. Our story is a reminder that even in the face of adversity,